Margaret has lived in the same rented apartment for 15 years. Every year, the rent creeps up, and every year she's heard her neighbors talk about property tax breaks like it's a conversation that has nothing to do with her because she doesn't own anything. She never questioned that assumption because nobody at her building, her bank, or her pharmacy was ever going to bring it up first. Then a volunteer at her local senior center mentioned, almost as an afterthought, that her state runs a program that has nothing to do with owning a home at all, and that she qualified for it the whole time she'd been renting. Nobody tells Margaret these things. Nobody tells you either. If you clicked because you wanted programs, most retirement channels never bother mentioning this is that video. 10 programs, 10 real forms, and every one of them shares the same quiet design. You have to already know the name of the thing before anyone hands it to you. This video exists because these 10 never get covered together anywhere else. Most retirement content either assumes you own a house or it stops at Social Security and Medicare and never touches what's sitting in your medicine cabinet, your utility bill, your tax return, or a filing cabinet at a legal aid office down the road. Here's what's coming, and it moves fast because there's a lot of ground to cover. The first 4 are about money you're either overpaying or leaving unclaimed, your state tax return, an account you already own, and a prescription you're already filling. Then it shifts to your bills, your energy bill, the house itself, the pharmacy counter, again from a different angle, and what you pay every spring just to file. It closes with your phone or internet line and a legal document you'd otherwise pay a lawyer for. Stick with me through all 10 because the fourth one is worth more to more people watching than anything else on this list, and it's the one almost nobody hears about on a retirement channel. I'm not selling anything here, and I'm not sponsored by any program I name. Every figure has been checked against the actual government or program source, not copied from another video. Number 1 is a property tax credit for renters. Skip it, and you keep quietly absorbing your landlord's property tax through your rent every month with no way to ever claw any of it back. This is the one almost every retirement channel skips too, because they assume property tax relief only exists for homeowners. More than 20 states plus Washington, D.C. run what's called a circuit breaker credit or a renter's rebate. The logic is straightforward. Your rent already includes a share of your landlord's property tax bill, so if that burden is high relative to your income, the state hands part of it back to you directly. Pennsylvania pays eligible renters 65 and older up to $1,000 a year. Utah's circuit breaker credit pays up to roughly $1,259. Colorado's senior circuit breaker credit runs up to about $1,178, and seniors already receiving certain rent or heat assistance can get the full credit regardless of income. Minnesota's renter's credit is the largest of the group, worth up to roughly $2,700 for renters under a set household income limit. Most states run this through a separate state tax form, and you'll typically need proof of rent paid and residency for the year. This is for anyone 65 or older who rents and has never once checked whether their state has this, because assuming it's only for homeowners is exactly what keeps it underused. Search your state's name plus renter's property tax credit or circuit breaker credit for renters. If nothing comes up, call your state's Department of Revenue and ask directly whether they offer a circuit breaker or rebate for renters and what the form number is. Renting is only half of what most retirement content leaves out. The other half shows up on your state tax return even after you own your home outright. Number 2 is the state tax exclusion on pension, IRA, or 401k withdrawals. If you've never claimed the specific exclusion your state offers, skip this, and a real slice of every withdrawal keeps going to the state year after year on money you already paid tax on once. This is different from the general Some states don't tax retirement income, talking point, because most people watching don't live in one of the handful of states with no income tax, and most don't live somewhere that exempts all retirement income automatically. What actually applies to most people is a partial exclusion that has to be claimed on a specific line of the return, and plenty of retirees never file for it because their tax software doesn't prompt them and their preparer doesn't always ask. Georgia lets each taxpayer 65 or older shield a large amount of retirement income annually. Pensions, IRA, and 401k withdrawals, interest, dividends, even some rental income. And because it's per person, a married couple where both spouses qualify can shield double that. Colorado is expanding its pension exclusion so that residents 55 and older can eventually subtract their full pension or annuity income with no dollar cap. Illinois, Iowa, Mississippi, and Pennsylvania already fully exempt retirement income under existing law, and a few more states have been phasing out taxes on Social Security benefits specifically. Ask your tax preparer directly, what is this state's retirement income exclusion or subtraction called, and am I claiming the full amount I qualify for? Two down, and both of those live on paper, a form, a line on a return. The next one lives inside an account a lot of you already have sitting untouched. Number three is the 20% penalty you probably think still applies to your health savings account once you're 65. Believe that, and you'll keep treating real money as untouchable when it isn't anymore. If you have an HSA, usually left over from a high deductible health plan before Medicare, there's a rule that changes the moment you turn 65 that almost nobody explains clearly. Before 65, pulling HSA money for anything besides a qualified medical expense costs you a 20% penalty on top of ordinary income tax. The instant you turn 65, that 20% penalty disappears completely and permanently. On every withdrawal, for any reason, you'll still owe regular income tax on non-medical withdrawals, same as a traditional IRA, but the penalty that scared so many people away from touching the account is simply gone. And in the other direction, at any age, money withdrawn for a qualified medical expense, including Medicare Part B and Part D premiums, deductibles, and co-pays, stays tax-free forever. The one thing an HSA generally can't cover tax-free is a Medigap premium, so keep that exception in mind. This is especially useful if you're sitting on an HSA from a job you left years ago and still treating it like it's locked. Call the number on your HSA statement and ask directly whether the 20% early withdrawal penalty still applies to you now that you're 65 or older. Now, the biggest one on this list, the one I told you to wait for. Number 4 is what you're paying for a brand name prescription if you've never applied directly through the manufacturer instead of just using a discount card. Skip this and you keep paying full price or close to it for medication some of you already qualify to get shipped to your door for free. This is separate from extra help and separate from your Part D plan entirely. More than 180 pharmaceutical companies run patient assistance programs that together provide thousands of brand name medications at no cost or very low cost. The manufacturer often ships a 90-day supply straight to you or your doctor's office. In recent years, these programs combined have provided billions of dollars in free medication. Eligibility typically caps out somewhere between 200% and 400% of the federal poverty level, which works out to a wide income range depending on the drug and manufacturer. This exists because manufacturers would rather give the medication away than have a patient stop taking it entirely, and most people never apply because nobody ever told them the program has a name. This is for anyone taking an expensive brand name drug who has only ever compared discount cards without checking whether the manufacturer will simply give it to them. 3 free places to search by exact drug name: rxassist.org, needymeds.org, and the Patient Assistance Program database on Medicare.gov. Ask your doctor's office directly whether their staff can help you apply for the manufacturer's patient assistance program for your specific medication. Most prescribing offices have handled this paperwork before. If you want all 10 written out with exact forms, phone numbers, and websites for your own state, there's a free guide linked below that covers everything in this video, start to finish. That covers your rent, your state return, your HSA, and your prescription costs. The next 3 move into territory almost no retirement channel goes near: your utility bill and the house itself. Number 5 is what you're paying your electric or gas company every month if you've never applied for help covering part of it. The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, is federally funded and run through state and local community action agencies, and it pays part of your heating or cooling bill directly, either as a credit or a payment sent straight to your utility company. Benefits typically run several hundred to over $1,000 a year, depending on your state, income, and energy use. Most states also run a crisis component, so if you're facing a shutoff notice right now, there's often a faster expedited path. Search your state's name plus LIHEAP or call the National Energy Assistance Referral Hotline and ask directly whether you're eligible for regular heating or cooling assistance and whether there's a crisis component if you're behind on your bill. Number 6 goes further than a bill credit. It fixes the reason the bill is high in the first place, and it costs you nothing. The Weatherization Assistance Program, run by the Department of Energy through those same community action agencies, sends a crew to your home for a full energy audit and then makes repairs at no cost: insulation, air sealing, HVAC tune-ups or replacement, duct sealing, sometimes window and door work. National evaluations have found real, ongoing savings and thousands of dollars in improvement value per home. If you're already receiving SSI, you typically qualify automatically in most states with no separate income proof needed. Contact your local community action agency and ask whether your home is eligible for a free weatherization energy audit. Back to the pharmacy counter, because manufacturer programs aren't the only layer of help. Number 7 is your state's own prescription assistance program. A number of states run programs that work alongside your Medicare Part D plan. Pennsylvania's PACE and PACENet programs cover hundreds of thousands of residents 65 and older with very low co-pays. New York's EPIC program helps hundreds of thousands of income-eligible seniors lower their Part D costs. Not every state runs one, but plenty do, under names that have nothing to do with each other. Call your state health insurance assistance program, free and unaffiliated with any insurer, and ask directly whether your state runs its own pharmaceutical assistance program for seniors separate from extra help. Number 8 is what you're paying to have your taxes done. AARP Foundation Tax Aid is a free IRS certified tax preparation service at thousands of sites nationwide, focused on taxpayers over 50 with low to moderate income, and you don't need to be an AARP member. The IRS runs 2 related free programs, VITA and TCE, covering similar ground through community organizations and senior centers. Call AARP Foundation, TaxAid, or search for the TaxAid locator to find the nearest site. Number 9 is your phone or internet bill. The pandemic-era Affordable Connectivity Program ended in 2024, but the older Federal Lifeline program is still active. It takes up to $9.25 off your monthly phone or internet bill, or up to $34.25 a month on tribal land. You qualify automatically if you're on SNAP, Medicaid, SSI, or federal housing assistance, or if your household income is at or below 135% of the federal poverty guidelines. Apply through the National Verifier at checklifeline.org or ask your current provider directly whether they participate in Lifeline. The last one isn't about money at all. Number 10 is a simple will or basic estate planning document. If you've been assuming a lawyer is the only way to get one, every state runs some version of free legal aid for seniors, usually through a county area agency on aging or a local legal aid office. And drafting a simple will at no cost is a common service inside that umbrella for anyone whose income qualified. Call the Elder Care Locator, a free national service that connects you to your local area agency on aging, and ask whether the legal aid program in your county drafts simple wills for income-qualified seniors and how to schedule an appointment. None of these 10 stack the same way for everyone. It depends on your state, your income, your accounts, even the age of your furnace. But the pattern holds. The money or the service was already sitting there, funded and staffed, waiting on a form nobody handed you, and every one of these resets on its own schedule. Funding runs out state by state, income limits shift, discount amounts change. The list that's true right now will look different by next winter, and none of these 10 offices are going to call you when it does. You have to be the one who asks. If this helped, send it to someone still paying full price for something on this list without knowing it. This is general education, not personal legal, tax, or financial advice. Program names, amounts, and eligibility rules change year to year and vary by state. Confirm your own eligibility directly with the relevant office or a qualified professional before acting on anything here.